This land is mainly divided into the Royal Zone and the Black Zone. In the Royal Zone, nothing truly extraordinary happens, only the slow, constant preparation for war. But in the Black Zone, legends are written. At this time, the Black Zone was ruled by three major forces. Near Bridgewater till Thetford, the mighty ARCHH and the formidable PoE were the two largest and most powerful groups controlling vast territory. Further north, at Fort Sterling, the most powerful guild clash, not for wealth nor for land, but simply for blood and dominance. For a long time, the supremacy of ARCHH was unquestioned, until one day, a new force rose, a group of soldiers known only as the BLU ARMY, the top for selling guild, the warrior commanded by the one and only King Mojo. They marched south toward the lands of Martlock to challenge the might of ARCHH. The war that followed became the stuff of legend. In a single brutal clash, the BLU ARMY faced the ARCHH's legion. Overwhelmingly outnumbered, for every BLU ARMY warrior, 10 ARCHH soldiers stood. Yet, in that one battle, they proved their dominance. 100 against 500, a fight written into the very history of the Black Zone. The day the BLU ARMY rose, and the ARCHH fell. For years, ARCHH and PoE had been bitter enemies, yet a fragile balance was maintained, thanks to heavy payment and uneasy truces. The arrival of BLU ARMY shattered this balance forever. When the BLU ARMY descended to the south, the tide of war shifted. The battle raged fiercely, and although the BLU ARMY fought with unmatched courage, the reality of war soon caught up with them, sooner than expected. Supplies ran thin, potion and food, the very lifeblood of battle, were scarce. No force, no matter how brave, could fight forever. After more than an hour of relentless combat, the BLU ARMY's strength finally wavered. Victory in the end belonged to ARCHH, yet it was a hollow victory. The BLU ARMY, though defeated, had carved its name into history. They had faced the might of ARCHH alone, and they had proven themselves worthy. But the single battle was only a spark, compared to the great fires that would follow. In their desperate need to overcome the BLU ARMY, ARCHH had committed countless soldiers to the field, stripping their defenses elsewhere, and PoE, ever watchful, ever patient, saw their chance. While ARCHH was locked in brutal combat, PoE struck, swiftly and without mercy. A new chapter of war had begun, and the Black Zone would never be the same. After that day, the fall of ARCHH seemed inevitable. Territory felt and hideout destroyed, but not only had PoE risen against them, but the Guild of Fort Sterling, bloodthirsty, battle-hardened, saw an opportunity they could not resist. For a year, ARCHH had ruled the lands of Martlock and Bridgewater with an iron fist. Now the wolves of Fort Sterling descend, not for territory, but for blood and for glory. And yet, even the combined force of PoE, BLU ARMY, and the Guild of Fort Sterling were not enough to crush ARCHH. But why? They had everything, more soldier than ever, better player, and this was an opportunity that would never come again. Because in this era of ALBION, a new system had been introduced. Every guild and alliance could set their own status in any hideout they owned across the Black Zone. For ARCHH, with over a dozen hideouts scattered across every region, this meant a constant, endless supply of fighters, endless tide of reinforcement poured forth, an unstoppable swarm, like ants from a broken hive. But numbers alone were not the reason everyone despised ARCHH. No, the true hatred stemmed from a single cursed map. Red Tree Enclave. Red Tree Enclave, the black hearts of ARCHH's power. It was the only map in Albion with a single way in. Once inside, if you did not belong to ARCHH, there was no way out, no portals, no recalls, only your mount to save you if you were lucky. At that time, the mechanics of Albion were unforgiving. Those who controlled Red Tree Enclave controlled the getaway to the richest endgame PvE content. Day after day, ARCHH farmed the Avalonian 8.3 dungeon with near total safety, growing their economy with ease. It was a paradise for them, and a nightmare for everyone else. But what then? If ARCHH were so strong, so untouchable, what could possibly bring down their empire? In truth, there was only one force powerful enough to challenge the might of ARCHH: the developers, the creator of the world itself. After witnessing the battle, after seeing that even the combined force of BLU ARMY with the PoE and the Guild of Force Sterling could not shake ARCHH's dominion, the creator made their decision. The world of Albion would change. Red Tree Enclave, once a fortress with a single entrance, was remade with 3 gates, stripping ARCHH of their supreme control. Hideouts, once near invincible stronghold, were weakened. Player could no longer enter any allied hideouts, only the one marked as home offered safe passage. Farming Avalonian content, once done in near total safety, became dangerous once again. But that was not all. A new mechanic was born, the disarray debuff. Now, large armies would be punished for overwhelming numbers. And the very reason disarray exists today, it's probably because of ARCHH. Their unstoppable rise forced the hand of the gods themselves. The fall of ARCHH was not through sword, but through the reshaping of the very law of Albion Online. This story tells only one of the many that have shaped the world of Albion. The tale of a single guild, the BLU ARMY, whose thirsty for battle, whose unshakable belief in their comrades, and whose mastery of war sparked the downfall of an empire. The guild that, despite everything, had had thousands of new adventures finding their first step in the unforgiving lands of Albion Online. But exactly as Rome Empire, they are not totally gone. They still roam the land of Albion in looking for the next adventure. This is only one of the stories that have forged Albion's world. And who knows, perhaps the next story to be written will be yours. Thank you for coming at the end of this video and enjoying with me this tale. I hope you liked it and will come again to listen with me to another legend of this incredible game. Also thank you to all the guys who reached me for the clip used for this video and helped me with the story. I hope I'll see you around in the unforgiving land of Albion Online.